What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to everybody who support the platform, man. Much love, man. And we back with another video. Now, in this video, I want to speak on this whole conversation that's been going on in the manosphere for a long time, dealing with stepdads. And I noticed that a lot of dudes in this space like to come up with this fancy concept that something is wrong with being a stepfather, or the stepfather is not something that's integral in a child's life, especially a young boy's life when their fathers are not around. I find it very ironic that a lot of these guys love to talk about how stepfathers are not needed, that stepfathers are just some homeless dude that's looking for some female to shack up with. So he's just taking on the role of her children. Or the stepfather is just some babysitting ass dude. Or the stepdad is just some simp that comes along and picks up the tab of another man. Or picks up the burdens of another man. And I find that to be very ironic because about, I'm gonna say about 2 years ago, maybe a little longer, I did a video asking Black Ram 313, because I noticed he was going in on stepdads. And a lot of these quote unquote guys, these so-called black pill guys, because I don't consider, there's only a few of these guys who are really black pill in my eyes. But he had a lot of foul things to say about stepfathers. And I asked him in the video, I asked him a question simply: if the stepdad is so bad, then why most of the men in the black manosphere grew up without a father? Most of the men who was in this space either grew up with a single mother or grew up being taught by another man. A lot of these men in this space were raised by stepfathers or raised by another man who their mother took on later on. A lot of these men in this space were not raised by their biological fathers. So how in the hell could you turn around and call these men simps when you praise the children of these men who are supposedly simps? Because a lot of these men who are on here are the products of stepfathers, are the products of boyfriends of their mothers who quote unquote wanted to take on some baggage. You see? So if the stepdad is a simp, if the stepdad is a lame, then how can we take into consideration the perspective of their children? I don't want to hear anything from you if you are a black male content creator in this black manosphere space. If you did not grow up with your biological father and you're calling stepfathers simps. If stepfathers are simps, you need to close your mouth because you wasn't raised by your father. So that means your whole perspective comes from your mama. So we should throw everything that most of these dudes get up here and say. Most of your favorite content creators grew up without their father. Most of these guys that you hold up as your heroes here on YouTube grew up without a father. They grew up with stepfathers. They grew up learning shit from the niggas who they mamas was laying up with. Most of the favorite black men that you guys get up here and name as being great men grew up with stepfathers, grew up without their dad, grew up knowing their father, but their father not being present. It's plenty of these black men. But you dudes love to get up here and want to talk shit about a reality that's been prevalent in our community forever. And if it wasn't black men like that in the black community, quote unquote, half of you Negroes in the black manosphere won't even exist. Half of you dudes won't have a leg to stand on. You won't have shit to talk about on your platform. Because most of y'all grew up without y'all fathers. Y'all grew up with a nigga who decided to man up and take care of your mama and your ass. So I suggest you niggas around here stop living in this cyber world as if stepfathers isn't an integral part of the black community. Because if it wasn't for stepfathers, most of you niggas that grew up in the crack era wouldn't have had shit. Because y'all fathers went to prison for selling crack. And your uncles went with him, which was his brothers. So who raised you to be the man you are? The nigga who decided to teach you something. You niggas need to be more grateful around here and stop running around here deeming something to be negative. Okay, if you don't want another man around your children, you need to come to an agreement with your baby mama and fix that situation. And if the situation can't be fixed, then guess what? Whenever your baby mama get with another nigga, ain't shit you could do about him being around your children. Because if you went and got another broad, it's nothing your baby mama could do if your girl is around and your children is in the house too. Let's stop getting up here trying to philosophize some bullshit. Let's deal with reality, men. We men. Let's deal with reality. And the reality is you and your baby mama didn't work out. So guess what? She gonna go get another nigga. And guess what? That's some shit you gonna have to deal with. You cannot sit here and say, oh, well, she shouldn't go get another nigga. And just because another nigga is in the house with your children doesn't stop you from playing a part in their life. You know who can stop them from playing a part in their life? You, nigga. Because you can go through every parameter to make sure you are still prevalent in your children's life. Who your baby mama is laid up with and who's helping her do whatever, or who decided to deal with your baby mama for whatever reason, don't have shit to do with you and how you take care of your kids. See, y'all want to get up here and make people believe that because at the end of the day, y'all know that most of y'all not putting y'all best foot forward. Most of y'all are just sitting back and complaining and hoping she make the situation easier for you. That's why you want to get up here and talk shit about the stepfather. See, that's why you want to talk shit about him. What you should do, if you was a man, what you should do is get to know the nigga that's in the house with your kids. Once you talk to him, get to know where's mine at. Because that nigga could play another part for your children. You niggas will turn around and get on YouTube and say it take a village to raise children, but then talk shit and demonize fucking stepfathers. Stepfathers ain't nothing but the niggas in the community that's trying to ensure that the community stay functional. Okay, this man fell off on his dean. All right, I got you, sister. Let's do this. That's what the stepfather is. The stepfather is the nigga that's part of the village that y'all claim supposed to raise children. But y'all get on YouTube and demonize them. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Things happen in life. Your children shouldn't have to be hurt at the behest of you and your baby mama not working out. And because you and your baby mama didn't work out, don't mean she should be unhappy. She should be able to go get another nigga. And she shouldn't have to hide that nigga neither. Just like if you go get another woman, you shouldn't have to hide her. But see, for the most part, a lot of you dudes haven't got to that point with y'all baby mothers. This is why y'all can't get along. This is why y'all get up here and complain about shit. Because the communication is still broken. I get it. I get it. So a solution to that problem is get to know the nigga that's around your kids. Stepfathers ain't the problem. It's your baby mama who's the problem. Now, if your baby mama is bringing different men around your children, and every time a new nigga's around, he's a new stepfather, that's something different. See, that's something different. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a dude that your baby mama done been with for about 5 years. You know this nigga, you been seeing him around. Why you and that man ain't developed a relationship yet? This nigga done been around your kids for 5 years. Why you don't know that nigga name? Why you don't know where he live if he don't live in the same house as your kids? Why you don't know if he have children? Why you don't know nothing about his background if he around your kids? You sitting here blaming her, putting all the responsibility on her. But those are not just her kids. Those are your kids too, nigga. So if that is the stepfather, you and him need to be cool. You and him need to have a relationship. You and him need to have a rapport. Man to man. But see, a lot of y'all dudes ain't built like that. That's why y'all get up here and y'all cry about some shit that's never gonna change. Y'all gonna keep crying about reality. Just remember, brothers, you gotta heal before we build, man. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so we notified every time we drop some new content right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Also, make sure y'all follow me on the stereo app at Real is Rare Pod. That's on the stereo app at Real is Rare Pod. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Shout out to the masculine mercenaries. One love to the madam mercenaries. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next video. Peace.